Hello, people of the internet. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, happy Saturday to you all. Hopefully, you are enjoying your weekends. Of course, this being Saturday, welcome to OST Saturday. Technically, this is part 2 of episode number 23, or should I say, bienvenue l'épisode 23 de OST samedi, because the 24 Hours in Le Mans race is going on right now. I took a little bit to watch the opening couple laps in between episode 1 and episode 2 of part 1 and part 2. And me being a big racing fan, this is like the biggest endurance race of the year for me. So very exciting times for me in my camp. But we have the second half of OST Saturdays to get through. Essentially, I didn't really see new music that was dropping over the weekend that I was like, yes, I need to watch this. Also, there were just so many OST songs that dropped in the past week that I wanted to get around to, where I could have filtered it down to, 6 or 7, maybe 5 if I really wanted to. But because there isn't anything else really dropping this weekend, plus I have the time to, and I'm kind of feeling generous this week, so I figured let's just do 2 episodes. So there's technically going to be 2 episode 23s. Enjoy. But this is the list we've got for the second half. The first half we had Minhyun, we had Chunks of a B2B, we had Halsey and Suga, we had Kim Jong-hyun, or newest JR, we had Kim Yeji of Cardi, and then we had Mr. Hong Isak, a little bit of a super band segment to end part 1. If you're interested in that, that's over on the channel already. But part 2, we've got a little bit of Coldin, we got a little bit of Andy Love, who's actually a very interesting case and a new entrant into OST's Saturdays. We got Miss Kim Yuna of Chaorim, we've got Woobin of CRAVITY, we've got SSERAFIM, we've got Yunho of Toma Shinki, and we've got Miss So Dahyun of tripleS. So let's just jump right into song number 1. We've got 7, so we gotta kind of keep on our toes a little bit. This is Rainbow from the web drama Love Tractor by Mr. Coldin. Now, Coldin's been on OST Saturdays before. I have to really make sure I have my facts straight because we've had a Coldin on the channel. We've also had Colda on the channel, or much like the Becky and Becky Ebin case that I always kept confused with. But Rainbow, for web drama. It's interesting, maybe farming based. But let's just jump right into it. This will be first bit of Coldin OST since Duty After School, so
유난히 깜깜하던 그 밤 별빛처럼 come and get your love, get your love.
I like how calm it is. Oh! Little tambourine. And a little offbeat clap. I like the energy, it's very lighthearted. The acoustic guitar is a nice touch. Oh, give me more acoustic guitar. I'm loving the vibes. Oh, there's the Coldin high tones. Oh, that is such a pretty chorus. Oh, and then we're back into the lightheartedness. We're off to a ripper of a start. This is really good. Also, plentiful background vocals as well. so pretty. That's such a pretty melody. I like that they've kept the higher pace beat in the bridge here, but they're also combining it with the claps, what are these called? The tambourine. No, legitimately, that was really good. I really like that. There's something about it that's so calming and so healing and so just happy. It's really pretty. His voice, oh, that chorus is so good. Just all of a sudden, the instruments just boom, kick it up a gear. Coldin going up on that head voice into that falsetto range that is just oh so pretty. You get the little call and response to walking on the rainbow and then walk. Oh, that's so good. I do I love an emotional OST. It kind of stems from my love of power ballads, but there's just something special about a feel-good OST track for me that just does something to me, and it just ticks all the right boxes. This is so good. And I love how simple the song is. Acoustic guitar, tambourine, claps, maybe an electric bass, a little bit of engineering, and then just vocals. That's it. It's really not a complicated formula that they went with for this song. And it's oh so pretty. Okay, next up. Is this anti-love? Okay, I saw a comment on this. So, oh, my bad. This is Home and Dry for the drama The Good Bad Mother by Andy Love. Now, Andy Love's a name I'm not familiar with, or so I thought. So I looked up the song on Genius, and you know how you can like click on the artist's name and it'll pull up their entire Genius page. I went in thinking, I wonder what I'm going to find. Well, Lord, let me tell you the thing I found, the Andy Love's page on Genius. Okay, cool. Andy Love, aka Andy Love, TH and Sony. Andy Love of 153 in Junebus. Now, if you've been around the K-pop community for long enough, and you've read up enough about artist discography and looked at producer names, 153 and Junebus are names of production teams that you will most certainly recognize. And like, let's click. Page views. TXT's Loser Lover, Twice's Yes Super M's 100, Monsta X's Love Killer, we have Dear Sputnik, Shout Out by Enhypen, Kibji and Kepler from This Is Queendom 2. I'll keep going. G-Friend's Love Bug, and some of the recent Enhypen stuff. NCT Dreams, Dream of the Fever, ITZY, BAP, Super Junior, The Boys, Red Velvet, P1 Harmony. The list just keeps going. Like, we've got some Shiny in there, we've got ONEUS, we've got Mirai, we've got CRAVITY, Rest in Peace Bugaboo. We have Miss Taeyeon on here, Astro's on here, SF9 is on here. Essentially, the list just keeps going and going and going. But Andy Love is an extremely talented producer who's also dabbled in the music department. So he's done a song called Home and Dry, and, well, he's a name obviously that I didn't really know of as an artist. So what I do with OSTs like this is I'll skip ahead to like maybe 1 minute into the song, and I'll play 5-10 seconds of it. If I like what I hear, I'll put it in. And that's what we did today. So here we go.
Tired of being alone, baby. Just one more try.
There's definitely a big Western influence in the song.
I'm lost in your eyes. My hand on heart, I need you home.
Which makes sense considering, well, he's LA based mainly. Or at least before Junebus 153, you get my point. He's also
until your skin's on my skin. Our bodies trembling like the wind.
he reminds me of a Superband contestant's voice.
Darling, I won't close my eyes until you're here. You're burning up my atmosphere. I got that
Kevin O, maybe?
in my bones. No, I won't take a breath or think the stars until you're wrapped up in my arms. No, I won't rest until you're home, home and dry. Yeah,
violin for me.
home and dry. In my arms, hold you tight until we see the
Again,
daylight.
much like Coldin Rainbow from before, or one song before, very minimal production. Instruments are super simple, and it's super feel good and happy and gentle and give it a little bit more extra beats on that one.
I got that feeling in my bones. No, I won't take a breath or think the stars until you're wrapped up in my arms. No, I won't rest until you're home, home and dry, dry, home and dry. Yeah. When the stars align,
I miss playing the violin, man.
collide, and when two become one, girl, our story's only begun. Stars align, and our worlds collide, and when
Loving the
two
background vocals
become
here.
one, baby, we'll stay on forever, forever, forever. Yeah. Darling, I won't close my eyes until you're here. You're burning up my atmosphere. I got that feeling in my bones. No, I won't take a breath or think the stars until you're wrapped up in my arms. No, I won't rest until you're home. Till you're home and dry. Home and dry.
Again, super simple arrangement, lots of simple instruments. I'm loving the constant acoustic guitar. You got throwing a little bit of violin on the post chorus. You got your claps. You have your nice broad keys. Nice little, actually not very prominent bottom end, but it doesn't really need it because the song doesn't have too much of a high end. It's a very mid-heavy song, but it's very well balanced, as expected from an extremely experienced producer. Oh, his voice is super cool too. He reminds me of kind of Kevin O's voice from Superband. Mainly because we're watching that at the moment, but just the way he sings, the delivery he has is very similar to Kevin O's. Tone-wise, I'd probably say Kevin O mixed with a little bit of Chun, like the roughness that Chunso has. If you've watched the show, you know who I'm talking about, but no, that was really cool. Also, one of those songs where I just really wanted to get up to the corner of my room where I have my guitar placed over there and just kind of strum along, but that's a lot of effort. But that was really cool. Thank you for the suggestion. That was very nice. Next up, is this Miss Kim Yuna from Coldin? It is. Okay, this one was on the calendar, and this one also took a very long time to try and figure out who this was. Because there's so many Kim Yunas that I know of. This is Coldin's Kim Yuna with the song Plum Blossom from the webtoon Return of the Blossoming Blade. Now, I've not listened to Coldin in a very long time, but I'm excited. I wonder what webtoons are very interesting in that webtoon OSTs kind of have a different purpose than like drama OSTs, where the pictures the songs are attached to don't move in the same way that like filmed things do or like animated things do. Because these are all, prints, essentially. They're just stills, and you just read page after page of stills. So you kind of have to make your own quote unquote animation between the frames. And because of that, your brain kind of interprets Webtoon OSTs a little bit differently to, say, animation OSTs. So I'm very curious to see what this is like. Webtoon OSTs are kind of goated, so here we go.
시린 겨울 지나와 사하게 필 꽃을 기다리네.
Someone ordered Whiplash off the menu? Oh my goodness. It chugs. It's chugging again. Oh my goodness. Yeah, oh my god, and we're back all the way at the bottom again. Oh my goodness, yeah, the Whiplash is nuts. The pace is building. Yeah, the intensity of this is nuts. Top off guitar, and we're back on. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. And it ended on that note of all notes. Look, I know I went a little bit quiet in the middle, but I was just so lost in the sauce that I couldn't really talk about anything. Oh, I'm tired. I'm emotionally tired after that. That song really takes you on a journey, doesn't it? It starts so soft. Her voice is so pretty. And then all of a sudden, the intensity goes up to 100. It's like, you know what, I'm gonna use a car reference here. If you don't understand it, I apologize in advance. But it's like you're sitting in a supercar in the passenger seat, and the driver has just turned on launch control. So what it does is computer does its funky gizmo things and sets up the car so it can launch from standing start to as fast as possible in the best possible way. It's like being sitting in a car with launch control. The way the song starts is so gentle, it's waiting at the light or waiting at the line or whatever it might be, and then all of a sudden the song starts and your body just goes and just feels the G-force within you. This song really goes from 0 to 100 and back down. There's no really middle filler part. Even in the build, like you get a very nice gradual build, and then all of a sudden it drops off, and then it's 100, back down to 0, 100, back down to 0. The faint of heart will not survive a song like this. This is intense. Oh, very reminiscent of what soundtracks for like this type of medium in Japan as well. Like J anime OSTs very much have similar traits to this. So I can relate to songs like this. This is, you know, I grew up around anime and things like that, so I would hear music like this every week whenever the anime would be on TV. So this is really cool. I like it. CRAVITY, yes, Mr. Woobin of CRAVITY. This will be my first CRAVITY OST that I've listened to, which is very cool. CRAVITY, oh CRAVITY. I think I've gotten most of CRAVITY. Problem is, I learned CRAVITY through game caters. Or at least I learned them best through game caters, and not everyone was on that show. So those who weren't, I'm still kind of struggling on. Woobin's one of them, if I remember correctly. I don't. Was Woobin part of the cast? Oh gosh, you know what? I'm gonna look it up. No, he wasn't. Oh boy, I genuinely thought that I'd embarrassed myself, but no, it was just Mini Serim, Hyungjun, my boy Sumin, and Jungmo. Okay. We save ourselves from embarrassment, but Mr. Woobin, you had done a song called Hope You Stay for the drama Romance by Romance, which is also a show I think we've had on the past before. This is very cool. CRAVITY time. Been a hot minute since your Masterpiece EP. Glad to get some new music from you. That was optimistic. Okay, here we go!
오늘 하루도 난 그댈 그리죠. 밤하늘을 닮은 눈빛과 작은 별의 속삭임 언제인지 어디서부터였는지 모르지만
Ooh, nice low tone.
서서히 물들어갔죠. 그대로 있어주기를 시간이
Oh,
멈춘다.
that's so cool. That's also very
우리도
loud.
손을 잡고 작은 미소 내게 줄래요. 언젠간 말하고 싶어 나의 작은 비밀을 한 발 두 발 조금씩 다가갈게요.
Oh, that was so cool. And we just took it up a register in the second part.
그대 지금 무슨 생각하나요? 머릿속에 가득 넘치는 보랏빛의 이야기 언제나 어디서나 우리 함께이고 싶어요. 그게 내 꿈이죠. 그대로 있어주기를 시간이 멈춘 듯 우리 두 손을 잡고 작은 미소 내게 줄래요.
It's one of those songs where it just kind of takes you, it carries you on a journey.
한 발, 두 발 조금씩 다가갈게요. 조금 두려운가요? 모두 내려놓고서 우리 함께 걸어볼래요. 이 밤 두 눈을 마주하고서 말하고 싶어.
Just the way he takes the power out for this final chorus.
좋아하고 사랑했어요. 이제는 함께 할래요. 그대 있어주는 시간 속에 우리 또
And we got a resolution at the end. Thank God. Okay. Very, very, very pretty song indeed. We've had a run of pretty upbeat OST, so it's nice to kind of come back into like ballad territory when you kind of associate with the romantic OSTs, if you will. But Woobin just, oh my goodness. I wish we got a little bit more of his lower tones in the verses. I love that contrast that he does. And it's, again, a case of human psychology and how we as humans love contrast. Woobin starting off the song with this really low tone, low, gentle tone, and then going up into his little bit higher tone, and then in the chorus really kicking it into that high gear. Just going in like little step increments depending on what part of the song he's in is so cool. I find that so satisfying to listen to. And it's not just Woobin, but he does it very well. Especially that low tone is like spine chilling. It's so cool. And of course, me being a violin player of 11 plus years, I love a string-based song like this. Good stuff, Mr. Woobin. Alright, what do we have next? SSERAFIM. Oh, okay. Can we talk about the lineup for the Bastion soundtrack? Because, oh my goodness, the lineup, like, the ones that I can name off the top of my head. We started off with Bangtan. And we had Alexa, we had Haze, we had Brave Girls last week, we have SSERAFIM this week. The lineup they have for their OSTs is nuts, and this is a Crunchyroll animation series. So cool, so cool. But this is SSERAFIM with the song Guardian for the animation Bastions. And genuinely, the OSTs from this show have been immaculate. Still topping the list for me is probably that Brave Girls song from last week, because it is just so pure. It was just so pure Brave Girls. We'll see what SSERAFIM do with this one, though, because they've had quite a sound evolution based off of what era they're in. I'm very much looking forward to it. Here we go. Oh! I forgot to check for captions. Nope.
It's right, 그거야. We are the best, just doing the right thing. 쉽지는 않대도
Is this the pacing of the song?
We are the best, 못해내건 nothing. 자그만 것부터 시작해. Yes, we can. 일어나, 앞으로 봐, 세차게 달려가. Yeah, I will be your guardian. 하늘과 바람과 너와 난 지켜가. Yeah, I will be your guardian. No time to hide.
That gang vocal part. Why does it remind me of a Weekly song? Yeah, stylistically, this is also very different to the SSERAFIM discography. But there's also a lot going on with the song. Let that high note ring. be a guardian.
Yeah, I will be your guardian.
Huh. Huh, indeed. Guardian very much is giving me like a feeling of a lot of combination of songs. Like it's got the kind of rock element from, say, No Celestial, but it also had like the gang chant vocal like chorus, or yeah, I think it was the chorus or post chorus from at least the cadence of it reminded me of some weekly title track that I can't remember the name of. It's, or I should say, which one? It must be what, the rap verse from Tag Me? But then it's got this kind of like halftime kind of not hip hop, but like hip hop pop hybrid kind of vibe to it that I can't really put my finger on. It's very different though. I do like that we got just like quintessential LE SSERAFIM vocal moments where there's some lines where the vocal delivery just has a little bit of extra sass in it that's very reminiscent of LE SSERAFIM, especially with Miss Yunjin. We got some Chaewon high notes, we got Zuho with her lower tones, and it's a very much a LE SSERAFIM song, but it's a sound that's not necessarily like the current LE SSERAFIM meta, if you will. Like this isn't Unforgiven era LE SSERAFIM, but it's still LE SSERAFIM, which I quite like. Pretty cool stuff though. Alright. Next up. Let's go over to the TVXQ camp to Toban Shinki. Mr. Yunho. Done an OST for the Disney Plus drama simply titled Race. At the song Waterfall. Now, Disney Plus dramas have pretty good OSTs. And admittedly, I've only seen one, and we've heard a couple in the span of doing, OSTs for the last 23 weeks. They've been pretty good. And I'm very excited to hear Mr. Yunho again, because it's been a hot minute since I've heard any Tongvan music. It would have been Parallel. Parallel was the last time we had TBXQ on the channel, so I'm very excited. Here we go.
딴 시선 끝 심장이 다시 툭 자석에 끌리듯 다시 또 한 걸음 햇살을 빼닮은
Very smooth.
보는 너의 눈 얼었던 내 맘을 비처럼 녹이는 너의 입술 가슴 가득 깊숙이 언제부터였는지 흐르고 흘러.
Oh, that was cool. There's a little bit of like meter modulation where it wasn't necessarily always on the downbeat. Oh. Yeah, the song grooves. There's an air of city pop to it, which I quite like.
가슴 가득 깊숙이 어제부터였는지 흐르고 흘러 어느새 내 맘은 널 가득 머금고 And I'm falling into you Wanna make you one
It's like city pop meets jazz fusion, kind of. Very cool. Well, that got a little bit musically interesting in that bridge there. Kind of break free from the chord sequence. I'm gonna send this song to one of my band people back in America, as his group does stuff like this. But this was really cool. I'm a sucker for a little bit of city pop. And while this isn't like pure city pop, there's a little bit of a blend going on. It's got some funk rhythms to it. It's got a nice little modern funk jazz kind of influence to it as well, but it's primarily a city pop song. And Yunho's voice just kind of floats on it. Like it is not fair how both Yunho and Max Changmin both have that really pretty high tone. Like that should not be fair. And it isn't fair. God, leave some talent for the rest of us. Jealous of his high tone. But the song is a really nice groove. Just kind of... It's one of those songs that's really nice walking pace, and you kind of just let it play in the background. It's a song that flows in your ears rather than a song that you like purely listen to, which I quite like. It's very fitting for an OST, I think. And it's one of those songs where I could play this, in everyday life on a playlist where there's stuff similar to this, and just have that little sway in your step as you go about your day out and about with some city pop in your ears. I can dig it. I can dig it indeed. Good stuff. Final song. Oh, welcome to the end of the marathon, everybody. We're almost there. This is Miss Dahyun, Miss S10 from tripleS, and her second OST, according to the little research I did into Miss Dahyun. But tripleS, very exciting project. She's one of the few members right now that hasn't been categorized into a subunit that's been like debuted. So she's not in Acid Angels from Asia. She's not in crystalLIZE. She's in Lovolution, right? I think. If I remember correctly, I think it's Lovolution. tripleS, very interesting project. Very fun kind of keeping up with what they're doing and the shenanigans. So, as well as, kind of what Jaden Jong's doing with tripleS. And of course, I was someone who really liked Luna's kind of debut project, so I'm really enjoying what Jaden Jong's doing with tripleS. Now that's enough about the group. Miss Dahyun done a song called More Than Yesterday for the drama Dr. Romantic Toa, which is a show that has definitely been featured on the OST marathons in the past, and I am ready. Here we go.
그땐 몰랐어 희미해진 기억 속에
Nice clean tone.
작은 점이 될 때까지 난 이렇게 헤매이네 너의 뒷모습마저
Oh, I'm getting a little bit of vibrato in here now.
점점 멀어져 가는데도
clean upper range.
그리운 너야 매일 같은 길을 걸으면 끝이 보일까봐 한없이 너만 기다리며 오늘도 너야.
Her tone's so pretty. There's a very slight airiness and like a lightness to her tone. It's very pretty.
너의 웃는 모습은 내겐 작은 희망이 되고
Very pretty vibrato too. Not very like noticeable, but it's there. Just a hint of vibrato.
오늘도 너를 기억해 어제보다 오늘은 더 아프다가 그리운 너야 매일 같은 길을 걸으면 끝이 보일까봐 한없이 너만 기다리며 꿈속에서라
Oh, she's staying up there for the bridge. Okay.
수 있다면 그 무엇도 할 수 있을 텐데 난 그래서 너야 다 아니라 해도 이 자리에서 머물고 싶어 어제보다 오늘은 더 아프다가 그리운 너라서 매일
She's adding a little bit more spice in this last verse.
끝이 보일까봐 이렇게 너만 기다리면 오늘도 너야.
Oh, and a really nice long held note with a very good chunk of vibrato as well. And let it dissipate. Oh, the way she delivered that final line in that final chorus. Oh, taking it up with all of the vocal power saved up for the end. Oh. Yeah, Dahyun's got a really, really charming voice. It's very clean, very easy to listen to. Little bit light. I mean, like, kind of like a... This is a really hard way to describe it, but it's not airy, but she has a lightness in her tone that's very easy to listen to. It's got a really nice range, even on like the almost like whisper low tones. Super pretty. Her high tones, her like airier high tones, her lighter high tones is really nice to listen to. It's not too harsh on the ears. There's sometimes with OSTs, like they aren't mixed all that well. Or all that it mixed in a way where they aren't flattering for the artist. Dahyun's tone, I think, just naturally is a very pleasant tone to listen to. And once you really gave it to Beans in that final chorus and she let her kind of higher range soar a little bit, oh, it's like I was waiting for that one high note to kick in after we had the held note, after the bridge, and just willing a high note to come around, and then we finally got it in that final line. It's just, relief and satisfaction, and it's just, that's really good. Oh my goodness, what a day. That's well over, I think, an hour and a half at this point, over the course of 2 episodes. I guess 2 parts. But this was, I mean, as expected from covering 13 songs for Weekend, yeah, this was good. This was a good time indeed. It might be a little bit tricky to make a thumbnail out of part 2, just because, well, we had Woobin's OST was the only one that really had an NV. I guess Bastion's one did as well, but yeah, making a thumbnail this week might be a little bit tricky considering a lot of these were just songs and not MVs. But I'll make do with what I've got to work with. I'll I'll tweak around on Photoshop, just kind of experiment around with it. But that is it from me for this weekend's OST wrap up. This was a long adventure. Do not expect this to happen again anytime soon, unless we have another week where there's just too big of a handful of OSTs that I can't pass up on. We won't do this again. But this week was an exception, and this week was a good one. So I'm not going to complain about the fact that this went very long. As it is now 5 p.m., I have to get ready for dinner soon. I'm going to go watch the Le Mans 24 hour and just take the rest of the weekend off as I do. So, that is it for me today. Thank you all for watching along with me. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. One last request from me today. Let us work together as a community to bring a little bit of extra happiness back into the world, whether it be checking in with your friends and family, holding the door open for somebody, even picking up a piece of trash off the street. Just one small act of kindness that may brighten up someone else's day to day. Know that wherever you are in the world, should you ever be going through a tough time in your life for whatever reason it may be, even though I'm just some guy on the internet who waffles about music in his free time, know that I will always be a friend, an ally, and a shoulder to lean on whenever you need me. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, spread the love, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.